This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, hello there, it's Jeff Cutter. I'm welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy for today, December the 21st, is a powerful baseball player who's still alive. I like to keep my guys alive. And who actually was a power hitter. Well, he's 6'6", so, he was a power hitter. When I think 6'6" in baseball, I think Darryl Strawberry. Not Randy Johnson, he was 6'11". This guy has the 14th best home run per at bat ratio in the MLB in history. He was known for hitting a lot of home runs, but he would strike out frequently. So basically, he was your prototypical sink or swim guy. He was top 25 voting for the NL MVP 4 times and the AL MVP once, but unfortunately, he died with that award. His name is Dave Kingman, who's now 76 years old. So he was born in Pendleton, Oregon in 1948, and his family moved from place to place. But he went to Mount Prospect, Illinois, and became part of their pitching squad. He was drafted out of high school by California in the 1967 draft in the second round, and by Baltimore in the first round in 1968. But both times, he decided to decline going to USC to play college baseball under the tutelage of famous coach Rod Dedeaux. He was a pitcher, but then was converted to an outfielder. He did pretty good and all that, and helped USC win the 1970 college baseball championship. He was named All-American for that mark and was with teammates Steve Busby and Jim Barr, among others. With the first pick of the secondary phase draft, San Francisco drafted him, and he stayed with the Giants organization. He was called up in late July 1971 and made his major league debut as a pinch runner. In the next game, his first full game as a major leaguer, he hit a grand slam and hit 2 more a day later. I was like, where does this guy come from? The good times didn't last long, as he finished his rookie season with a .278 average, with 6 home runs and 24 RBIs in 41 games. He was part of the Giants team in 1971 in the NLCS, but he went 1 for 10 as the Giants would fall to the Pirates. And it would be the only time in history he would sniff the postseason, which is sad. So anyway, he was a pitcher at times. He was third baseman, but because of his error problems, he lost his starting job to Steve Monteveres. In 4 seasons with the Giants, he hit .224 with 77 home runs and 217 RBIs. The Giants got rid of him, but the Mets picked him up for $150K. The Mets decided to abandon Dave Kingman's third baseman obligations and put him in the outfielder. He was a slugger, 36 home runs in 1975. And it was the right move. Well, the Mets were looking for a third baseman that could carry the club, and they couldn't find it till maybe Howard Johnson, 1984. But anyway, Kingman did what he could. He got 37 home runs in 1976 and was the right fielder for the NL All-Star team. Kingman was batting .209 with 9 home runs, and then was traded to the Padres for a couple of minor leaguers, including for future Mets manager Bobby Valentine. In fact, it was called the Midnight Massacre because they also traded Mike Phillips to the Cardinals for Joe Youngblood, although that really wasn't much of a trade because who the heck is Mike Phillips? And also, Tom Seaver was traded that day, June 15, 1977, to Cincy in the deal that didn't help the Mets out, and basically Seaver took his pitching stuff to the Reds and did well. Seaver did have contract problems, but it wasn't helped by the fact that Dick Young from the New York Daily News had a bone to pick with Seaver and basically wrote false stories about Seaver's wife and all that for the money. And basically, Donald Grant, the owner of the Mets, refused to give Seaver what he wanted. Unfortunately, the Mets would start to really fall off a cliff, and people would wonder if Dick Young just was a piece of shit. Regardless of that, the Padres had him, but then Kingman was actually claimed on waivers by the Angels September 6th. And then the Angels decided to trade him to the Yankees for Randy Stein and cash. So he went from the Mets to the Padres to the Angels to the Yankees all in 1 year, playing for one team in each division. All that. He did get 4 home runs in 8 games, helping the Yankees propel themselves to the AL East title. He could not participate in the postseason because the rule was on August 31st, there was a cutoff date for postseason eligibility. You can't make any trades after August 31st nowadays. So Kingman hit .221 with 26 home runs and 78 RBIs for 4 teams in 1977. That's the anatomy of it all. He said he practically played for 4 teams in one season. Then he was a free agent, and the Cubs would sign him. He wanted to stay with the Yankees, but they didn't want him to have a no-trade clause. They offered him $1.25 million, hoping that no team would pay more money. However, the Cubs gave him $1.37 million. He got $225,000 annual salary, a $250,000 bonus, and $50,000 every year that the Cubs reached 1.6 million in home attendance. In his first full season, he hit .268 with 28 home runs and 78 RBIs. So anyway, it was just horrible. In 1979, he would lead the National League in home runs with 48. He batted .288, which is respectable, and 115 RBIs, so he was second in the NL to Dave Winfield. Kingman's home run prowess is known in one of the most famous games of all time. May 17, 1979, when the Cubs lost to the Phillies 23-22 in 10 innings. Kingman drove 3 home runs and 6 RBIs off of Phillies pitching. And Kingman's third and final home run was likely the longest home run of Kingman's career and the longest in Wrigley Field history. There's actually a street called Kenmore Avenue that tees into Waveland Avenue behind left center field. And Kenmore is lined with houses. And the ball Kingman launched landed on the third porch roof on the east side of Kenmore, 550 feet away, which was amazing. The guy who did the TV broadcast for that, like when Kingman hit home run number 3, was Lou Boudreau. I thought it was someone else, but no, it was Lou Boudreau. So anyway, he finished 11th in MLB and MVP voting that year. In 1980, he was upset at a Daily Herald reporter and dumped a bucket of ice water on his head. So anyway, it didn't matter. One day, the Cubs held a T-shirt day promotion in conjunction with the games with the Pirates, but somehow Kingman spent the afternoon promoting jet skis at an event. Well, he was injured too. He only played 81 games in 1980 with 18 home runs. So in 3 seasons with the Cubs, he hit .278 with 94 tater tots. The Mets were in disarray. Joan Payson had died. She was the owner, the main owner. Well, Donald Grant was the GM, I guess. He sold the Mets franchise to the Doubleday Publishing Company for $21 million. Nelson Doubleday Jr. was named chairman of the board, and Fred Wilpon was the club president. They made a couple of major moves to try to help the Mets get back to respectability. The first was to get Kingman back. So the Cubs traded Kingman to the Mets for Steve Henderson, February 20th, 1981. In separate deals, the Mets would actually get Rusty Staub back and also Tom Seaver in subsequent seasons. Kingman would become a first baseman, in a sense. In 1982, he did hit 38 home runs, but he batted .204, the lowest batting average for a first baseman with enough play appearances to qualify for the batting title. And it was also the first time where the Cy Young Award winner Steve Carlton had a higher batting average than a home run champion, leading the league in home runs that year. It was also the lowest batting average for any season's home run leader. He got 99 RBIs, but .204. At least it wasn't below the Mendoza line. Kingman would strike it a lot. And on June 15, 1983, the 6th anniversary of the Midnight Massacre, the Mets made a trade again. However, the other team was the subject of a massacre, as the Mets took Keith Hernandez from St. Louis. That was huge. Kingman remained with the team in a limited role and then signed as a free agent with Oakland. So he had 154 home runs in 6 total seasons with the Mets. But yeah, Kingman signed with Oakland and practically was just the A's DH for the season. He was named the American League Comeback Player of the Year with .268 with 35 home runs and 118 RBIs. He put up 35 home runs in 1986 for the A's, his final season. It was actually a Major League record for most home runs in a season by someone in their final season. Not even Sosa or McGwire did that. But that was surpassed by Big Papi, David Ortiz, in 2016. So he did well. He was actually known for, in Oakland, hitting a pop-up that actually got into a hole in the roof of the Metrodome because their roof was different. It was made a ground rule double. Anyway, Dave Kingman, in his final year, actually sent a live rat in a pink box to a Sacramento sports writer named Sue Fornoff. And the tag said, "My name is Sue." And Fornoff claimed that Kingman had told her that women do not belong in the clubhouse. Kingman thought it was a harmless practical joke, but it wasn't. The A's fined him $3,500 and basically said he would be released. So yeah, Kingman's contract expired after 86, and Oakland did not renew his contract. So Oakland decided to sign Reggie Jackson back to Oakland for what would be his final year in 1987, helping Jose Canseco and Mark McGwire out. So in 3 seasons, he got 100 home runs. Anyway, Kingman overall would bat .236 in his career with 442 home runs and 1,210 RBIs. So anyway, Kingman did sign a minor league deal with the Giants, but after doing badly in AAA, he decided to retire. So anyway, in 1992, his first year of eligibility for the Hall of Fame, he got 3 ballots, excluding him from future voting, becoming the first player to hit 400 home runs or more without being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And he still isn't. So anyway, Kingman has 3 children and operates a tennis club. But yeah, King Kong Kingman is fantastic. You know, he had the home run power. He didn't have the batting average. He struck out a lot. But still, home runs sometimes were magical. And it was before steroids ruined the art of a home run. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.